Hello, welcome back to the channel, and today we are doing another Edge of Eternities best of 3 draft. So here's our opening pack. We have the pretty cool rare Pain for All. There's also Rayblade Trooper and Sea Chip Agrarian as pretty solid uncommons. I do like Peregrine Beckoner, Orbital Plunge, Nebula Dragon, and Fungal Colossus, and then the rest of the pack sort of falls off after that. It's definitely between Pain for All and Sea Chip Agrarian. So on one end, you could take Sea Chip Agrarian and just stay in green and just go with that. But I think the Pain for All offers a little bit more flexibility, and I don't actually mind starting in red. I know red's like the quote-unquote worst color, but I've been having some success with either red-green or red-black, so I'm just going to go ahead and take the Pain for All. I think this card's very strong. Okay, we have a little bit of a weaker pack to follow that up with. The rare is Evendo Waking Haven, the green planet. So it basically turns into a pseudo Gaia's Cradle when you station it up, which can be good, theoretically. In terms of red cards, we don't have too much. We have Rig for War and Debris Field Crusher. Those don't really do what we want to do. There is a Nanoform Sentinel, which kind of reminds me of Chrome Cat from Obi-Wan. Blooming Stinger is an alright green card, but honestly, I'm feeling like I should probably just take something like this Dock Worker Drone. Something that's cheap on the curve, and we could be some sort of red-white aggressive deck. So yeah, let's just go ahead and try that. The rest of the pack wasn't really speaking too much to me. Now we can go ahead and take, it's probably a choice between either, we could stay in white and take Night Luminary or Auxiliary Boosters. Red, Volcar Trooper's okay, but it's usually just a removal magnet and it doesn't give you much value. Uthros Psionicist I think is absurdly strong, and even though we're not in that color yet, you know, pick 2 didn't really count, right? And pick 1 wasn't really exactly sure, but seeing a Psionicist pick 3 is at least somewhat of a sign that blue might be open, and I do think, honestly, I'm starting to think blue might be the best color in the format, to be honest, because green gets very contested, and blue just offers you pretty much everything: card draw, removal, quote-unquote removal, and good threats, cheap, efficient cards. So, okay, here we see, I think I'm going to take Lightstall Inquisitor. So we can be some sort of blue-white, maybe ghost, not go second, but second spell deck. And then from there, we just take all of the relevant payoffs. This card is also not a bad threat on its own. Disrupts the opponent. Atmospheric Greenhouse and Broodguard Elite are also fine, but I'm feeling some sort of like blue-white kind of aggressive deck. Ooh, this is an interesting one. So we see a late Diplomatic Relations and Biosynthic Burst, but I mean, we've taken Lightstall Inquisitor and Dock Worker Drone. We might as well just go ahead and take Sunstar Expansionist. And then just noting what else is in the pack, we can eventually find our second color. But Sunstar Expansionist is just a fine 2-drop, so we're just going to go ahead and take that. Now we see Annul, Bright Spear Zealot, Beamsaw Prospector, and Peregrine Beckoner as a couple of green cards. And then a Galvanizing Saw Ship as just a big dumb flying hasty boy. I'm not hating the prospect of being some sort of red-white aggressive spacecraft deck. I think we're just going to go ahead and take that. Okay, now we see a few choices. Not too many, but looking at the curve, we've got Caveron Turbo Drone versus Wormwall Sweeper. I think this is a point where taking a Wormwall Sweeper would be a little bit more appropriate. I like having one of these in most of my decks, and if we're going to be doing the red-white thing, right, because maybe blue's not so open, then red-white cares about your creatures being tapped, so having just a few incidental spacecraft is helpful for that. Okay, we wield, or this is not the wheel, sorry. It's a late Biosynthetic Burst. Card's pretty strong, but I think for us, we're looking at a Slag Drill Scrapper versus a Weft Blade Enhancer. I'm just going to go ahead and take the Weft Blade Enhancer. I can still be swayed off of red, but I might as well just get deeper into white. Okay, this is the wheel. Not seeing much. I do like Peregrine Beckoner a fair bit, but maybe we'll just be kind of big Boros. Sure. I'm not entirely convinced. This is a Rig for War. We'll take it just for signals. But 40 gems. This is important, you know, for your equity. There's a world where Rig for whatever. We're just gonna take the 40 gems. We're not playing a Rig for War in the deck. Okay, we wield Volcar Trooper and Frontline War Rager, so I think I'm gonna take the War Rager just as a cheaper card, and the Volcar Trooper is fine, but there are a lot of other big threats that I would rather take, and Frontline War Rager does fit in with the game plan of the deck so far. Okay, not much these last couple picks. Whoa, last pick Zealous Display is actually not bad. Okay, and we get a Pack 2 Pick 1 All Fates Stalker. This card is awesome. So you don't really have to have combos with it necessarily. It just is good on its own. But yeah, anyway, no, this is great. And then we can wield this Night Luminary perhaps, or Kov Landseeker. I'm thinking that the Uthros Psionis is going to go into the sideboard for now. And we're just going to snap up this All Fate Stalker pretty happily. Okay, now we see, what is this? Cathedral of War enters tapped Exalted. That's actually kind of interesting. But I think for us, you could take a Tragic Trajectory, but we're not really in black. Full board, another Zealous Display. I think we just take a Zookeeper Mechan. I think this card's great. Helps ramp you from 2 to 4, is an artifact, taps itself for the, you know, tap deck. It just does so many things well, and it has this late game potential of making any of your creatures threats in the late game. I'm gonna take that. Now we see nothing. Okay, well, we actually see either Starfighter Pilot versus Volcar Trooper, Frontline War Rager. There's also Squire's Lightblade, but I mean, it's not bad, right? Like a first strike flash trick. It's not terrible, that leaves something behind. But I think given where we're at, we're going to want to just take a nice solid 2-drop. Goes well with the Wormwall Sweeper and all of that. Okay. Oh, nice. That is a late Plasma Bolt, and I think I'm interested in that. There is a Memorial Team Leader. It could be strong. It could be strong, but I think we do want to take a little bit of interaction here. This is actually a close one. Memorial Team Leader versus Plasma Bolt. So if you go wide, the Memorial Team Leader can do quite a bit of work, but we already have the Zealous Display to sort of help out with that. I'm going to take the Plasma Bolt. I could see the Memorial Team Leader being the pick here. Okay, Banishing Light as another solid removal spell, and now I have enough removal where I don't really need to take it that highly, and then after this pick, I can pretty much just focus on good threats. Okay, that being said, there is a Focus Fire, but in this kind of a deck, I'm a little less interested in that. That being said, there's not too much else. I mean, there is a Pinnacle Kill Ship, which it's big and dumb and kills a thing. We might be wanting to be a little bit lower on the curve. I might just want to take another Frontline War Rager here. Okay, well, we got the red-white signpost uncommon, Sammy Ship's Engineer, which is definitely going to care about us tapping down our creatures. So hopefully maybe we can find maybe 1 or 2 more spacecraft. You don't want to load up on them too much. You do need creatures, but seeing a Sammy there is nice. Okay, now we have a choice between Auxiliary Boosters and the Auraplate Pangolin. I think there's also Flight Deck Coordinator. Helps you win races. These would all be fine. But I think I'm going to just go ahead and take the Auxiliary Boosters here. It gives you a little bit of reach in the late game, and by reach I mean flying, in order to just close the door on your opponent. I don't want a third Frontline War Rager. Full bore, sure. Okay, probably not seeing much the rest of this pack. Last pick, Litho Breaking. All right, I mean, sideboard card maybe. Okay, now we see, again, not the best pack in the world. The best card, I mean, for sure, is the Might Form Harmonizer. 4 mana, 4/4 with landfall. Whenever land you control enters, double the power of a creature you control end of turn. And it has Warp for 2 and a green, so you can have some pretty nasty combo potential with this. Also, Tractor Beam, great removal spell that takes a thing, does not take away its abilities, but incapacitates it. So you can get all those sweet, sweet abilities, like if you steal a Sammy's Ship's Engineer, for instance. For us, I think we'll probably just take a Dual Sun Adepts. Not super exciting, but 3-mana 2/2 Double Strike, pump the team. Not bad, not bad. We're trying to look for some better cards, though. Okay, there's another Auxiliary Boosters, but I think we're just going to go ahead and take a Kovland Seeker. Fits the curve a little bit better, and makes Lander, and yeah, just a solid card. Again, do like the Auxiliary Boosters, maybe we can wheel that. Okay, hey, we're in red-white. Let's just go ahead and take the red-white dual land Needle Spires. So enters tapped, adds red or white, which is, I mean, if it just stopped there, I probably would be taking it here. But then it has extra upside because it's a man land. 4 mana, becomes a 2/1 double striker until end of turn. That's still a land. Yeah, pretty good card. So perfect for a red-white deck. Ooh, I really, really like the Sedge class Siege Ship. I think this card is very strong. But let's see. For us, we could take a Dawnstrike Vanguard. You could also take Night Luminary or a Kovland Seeker. I think Dawnstrike Vanguard is very strong, but we already have some amount of top end. I think I am going to take the Night Luminary just as a more go wide aspect of the deck. Okay, we see a Banishing Light. We see a Territorial Bruntar, which is pretty good. I think taking Honored Knight Captain is going to be the pick for me here. Good cards. Territorial Bruntar and Banishing Light are both excellent. But again, we're trying to go wide. We're trying to get more bodies down earlier to tap them down for our War Rager and our Sammy. And this has a pretty good target with Auxiliary Boosters if you want to get that onto the battlefield. Okay, one more good removal spell. Orbital Plunge. Fantastic. 4 mana, kill a thing, make a lander. I think this is definitely, well, not definitely, but I think this is Red's best common. Solid stuff. I'm going to take that. Okay. Oh, Wedgelight Rammer seems perfect for the deck. It is it's a spacecraft, so it helps you tap your stuff down. It makes a body up front, so it's not, too bad. 9 is a lot, but at least it gives you 2 up front. And a 3/4 first striker, that's a flying first striker, is not bad, so I will be taking that. Okay, another Wormwall Sweeper. I mean, I highly doubt we're going to get too much else. The Capricorn Turbo Drone, that's not bad. It also taps itself. So we're going to make some cuts for sure. Another Auxiliary Boosters. I do like that. Another Nebula Dragon. Okay, I think we cut the existing Nebula Dragon. Command Bridge we do not need. We're just 2 colors. Okay, so 25. All right. I think that overall went fairly solid. Red-white is not always a deck that I end up in, but I think it can be strong. So let's see. We need a couple of cuts. I like all of the 1 and 2 drops. Zookeeper Mechan, good. I think maybe we can cut 1 front line. Well, how many? Oh, we should probably cut some amount of non-creatures. But also the Auxiliary Boosters kind of count as creatures. Galvanizing Sawship is sort of a creature. Non-creature would be like... Wedgelight Rammer technically brings a body too, so I guess it's not actually that bad. We can go ahead and cut Frontline War Rager. And now the question is, do we want the Zealous Display? So creature control get +2/+7 until end turn, but if it's not your turn, untap those creatures. So it's theoretically good with stationing because you could tap all your stuff to station and then you smack them, or not, they attack, you untap and ambush block them. Not going to cut Light Luminary, Kovland Seeker, Those are good. All Fate Stalker is quite strong. Wet Blade Enhancer could potentially be a cut, but it is just a big dump. Well, maybe we don't need the big dummies. Maybe we just have a nice solid like 2, 3, 4 drop curve. We have a lot of mana sinks that we can utilize in the deck. I think we're just gonna go ahead and run it like this. Again, it looks like we have 13 creatures, but we have the auxiliary boosters, the galvanizing saw ship, the wedge-light rammer, which sort of pseudo act as creatures. So overall, I think the deck is pretty solid, and I'll see you for the games. All right, we're on the draw against Okinomaro, and this hand is very close. If we don't draw another land, we basically lose. But you kind of also have to draw 2 lands in a row. We're on the draw. The Zealous Display is not doing too much, but it has high potential. We have a pretty nasty... We don't have like the smallest curve in the world. If we draw like land in a row, this hand is totally serviceable. It's very risky hand, and I really don't like hands like this, especially in this format, when you fall very far behind if you miss lands 3 and 4, and even 5 and 6. So with all that being the case, I'm pretty sure I mulligan this. Okay, now we're presented with a similar hand, except we also have Wormwall Sweeper, so I will keep this. I will put back either the auxiliary boosters or the galvanizing saw ship. Probably just the galvanizing saw ship. I mean, auxiliary boosters is just a fine top end card. There's an All Fate Stalker. All Fate Stalker can be strong. So now we can Wormwall Sweeper. Okay, there's another land. So Wormwall Sweeper. Oh, is this gonna get countered? Divert Disaster? Nope. Okay, it does resolve. All right, I do want another land. I don't necessarily want the Honored Knight Captain. It could be okay, but I think on average we would rather draw other cards. So now on our turn, we can go Caveron Turbo Drone and then crew up the Wormwall Sweeper. Okay, they're gonna pass the turn. We're gonna go Caveron Turbo Drone. This is probably gonna meet a... Oh, there's a Divert Disaster. Okay. Well, that's okay. On their turn, maybe they'll play a big scary 4-drop, and then we All Fate Stalker it. They're just gonna pass. They are passing the turn. Okay, we'll just go ahead and attempt to cast a Dual Sun Adepts. Unravel, alright? Well, at least the opponent is not presenting any threats of their own. Okay, they're just gonna draw a couple, it's fine. Land draw, pass. Nutrient block, sure. Okay, well, I think we're just gonna go auxiliary boosters, and then we'll use this to station the Wormwall Sweeper. Next turn, we can go All Fate Stalker, exile a thing, crew up the Wormwall Sweeper, smack them for 5 in the air. But opponent has a lot of cards in hand, and we know they missed a couple land drops in a row. Yikes. Okay, there's a Lost in Space. Okay, well, we draw another creature, which is good. Alright, let's go Dockworker Drone, crew this up, and then equip here, smack them for 3, pass the turn. Next turn, we get to, again, hopefully All Fate Stalker something. At least we have the board presence, but I mean, blue and black have some very strong top end cards, which I guess opponents trying to hit. Looks like they might be stuck on, yeah, looks like they might be stuck on 4 lands. So, I mean, you just got to take advantage while the shields are down. We're going to go All Fate Stalker here, take this away, and then we're going to smack them, and then pass. 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. They're not dead yet, but we're close. They're dead in, so far, 2 turns. Void Forge Titan, that's okay. We can just kind of ignore that. Light Stall Inquisitor is not bad either. So we will go to combat, smack for 3, Lightstall Inquisitor. Okay, and then we'll move this over to Dockworker Drone because I kind of want them to kill that, which I then can then put the +1/+1 counter on something else. This also gives me 2 flyers. Oh, that was dumb. I was supposed to equip this and attack with 2 flyers. They should be at 4. My mistake. Where did this come from? Wait, what? Creature enters. Oh, I see. They're doing the Lightstall Inquisitor thing. So, yeah, this costs 1 more to cast. It was a 3 mana 5/4. Not bad. Definitely not bad. Alright. Yeah, that's really unfortunate. They're probably supposed to be not dead because they can crack the nutrient block. So I guess it doesn't change the number of... Oh, they're going to go Mechanizoa Warp here. Tap down Dockworker Drone is totally reasonable. And then they're going to go Nutrient Block. I would assume draw, gain 3. Okay, no problem. We get to just auxiliary boosters onto something else. Okay, they're going to draw a card. It's kind of nice that they're losing a life here, to be honest. Okay, another land is not great. Let's do this. Equip to the Lightstall Inquisitor and then smack for 5. They are dead next turn. Next turn, let's see, if they draw a land doesn't even really get them out of this. I just have too many flyers. The auxiliary boosters is doing a great job at providing that late game reach that I was talking about earlier, or late game evasion more, appropriately. But I mean, opponent has to have like 2 removal spells basically, or something that destroys artifacts. Peregrine Beckoner, that's not going to do it. That's not going to do it. I am willing to take 7 to the face here. All right, we'll see. Yeah, all of this doesn't... Oh, Tragic Trajectory, that is not going to be good enough here. I don't think. I will gladly take 7 to the face. Do they have an answer? They go to 3, and they concede the game. Nice. All right. Yeah, auxiliary boosters doing great work there. Okay, I'm not really seeing too many changes. The lack of card advantage is showing, but hey, if you could just play evasive threats and then cards that kill their cards. Yeah, Stu going. I'm going to go ahead and keep this. Basically, we have a lot of like little mana sinks here and there, which we can do things with. So our creatures have some amount of value beyond just their bodies. Okay, great hand. Keep. Pretty solid. They're on the draw as well, or sorry, not the draw. They're on the play. So we are going to get to go Sunstar Expansionist, make a lander, which is just going to give extra value, thin the deck, etc., etc. Okay, unfortunate to see that now, but I am just going to go ahead and go mana efficiency, Honored Knight Captain, divert. So totally fine. Divert Disasters, completely fine here. Okay, no Unravel from the opponent. No guarantees that they have a second Divert Disaster. So I feel like I'm free to play the Sunstar Expansionist. Okay, let's do Sunstar Expansionist. Okay, cool. Great, make the lander. Now we go Plains, Lightstall Inquisitor, and they are forced to kind of pseudo-tempo themselves a little bit here. They exile a island. Okay, so the island comes into play tapped now, which, that could definitely mess them up. Dubious Delicacy, sure. Goodbye, Sunstar Expansionist. Pass turn, Zealous Display. All right, we'll just go combat, smack them for 2. They block, that's fine. We're just going to go land, and then I think we're just going to full cost a Night Luminary. 4 mana, 3/2, make 1/1. Reasonable limited card. Body that makes a body. Not bad with Zealous Display, of course. Okay, they're just going to go ahead and crack that nutrient block immediately. They're at a high life total, but we have a lot of damage incoming. Unless they have the board wipe. Ugh, board wipe would suck. Because we are not prepared to... Don't do it to me. Okay, it's just Void Forge. Whew. Ooh, Sammy. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. So... Yeah, I like being mana efficient here. So we'll just go land... Smack for 3... And then play the Sammy, crack the lander, and then on the next turn, hopefully we can do a fair bit with our mana. Voidforge Titan is certainly large, but I'm not too worried about it. It is holding back my ground creatures, which I do not like. Okay, I see Ilvoy Gale Blade coming out. Faller's Faithful to... Okay. Faller's Faithful to target the Gale Blade, draw a couple of cards. Also triggers Void. Not a bad combo. Synthesizer Lab Ship. That is a very strong card. Very strong. Okay. Synthesizer Land Ship. So, does it get turned on at 4? Oh, it gets turned on at 2, I see. So I imagine they turn this into a 2/2. I mean, yeah, I guess you could say you're doing some sort of racing situation. Let's have them draw, and then we will activate the ability. So, get on planes. Dual Sun Adepts, not a bad card here. Only 2 mana. So, gonna go to combat. I kind of want to swing out. Think, or we could wait. But the longer we wait, the more that they can play more stuff. This might be just a good opportunity, and they also might be a little afraid to block. They also might block the Light Luminary because it's more damage. Tough to say. Tough to say. We're also playing around another Divert Disaster, which they have only played 1. So Voidforge Titan probably... Ooh. Gonna block there. All right, we're gonna activate Zealous Display. That's a ton of damage. Oh, they go to 1. Wonderful. Yeah, I'm just gonna play Dual Sun Adepts and then make the 2/2. Good luck, opponent. Can you deal 14 to me in 1 turn? I doubt it, but I've seen crazier things happen. 3 cards. So you can kill you have to start by killing the Dual Sun Adepts. Then you have to smack me for 8 plus 4 is 12. And then Dubious Delicacy. Okay, it's not actually impossible, but with 3 cards and only 5, 6, 7, 8 mana to do that all with, I don't think it's possible, but hey, more power to you, opponent, if you are able to do these things. Okay, they're just going to gain 3, so that is certainly not killing me territory. Tragic Trajectory, the Dual Sun Adepts. Okay. Alright, Graveblade Heavy. No, they're not dead. They are not dead. And let's see, I see them taking... Oh, I just equipped the Night Luminary and kill them. So, I think in order to survive, they have to crew up to 4? No? Oh, wait, now they're just mega dead. I'm so confused. Let's put this over here. They block... Well, actually, hold on. They block, take 3, 2 in the air. What could they have for a single blue? I can't think of anything. Can't really think of anything. So we're just going to do this. Do this. Smack for 4? Okay, they did. Okay. Alright. Alright. I thought there was some kind of cool, like, random trick or whatever. Pretty convincing first match. See you for the next. Alright. We're playing against I Am Gabe, the Ambitious. And our hand only has 2 lands, but has a couple 2-drops. This one can help to surveil. I think we can keep this one. Okay, we drew a land for turn. That is very nice. So, probably gonna start with Starfighter Pilot. Ooh, that's nice. Okay, let's go Starfighter Pilot. Now next turn we get to go Honored Knight Captain into Plasma Bolt, make an X2 hopefully. Okay, play a command bridge. They're gonna Plasma Bolt my creature. That is rude, and I don't like that. Okay, we are gonna play this, and then we're gonna pass the turn very quickly so they don't know we have Plasma Bolt. Then next turn we just get to go Wedge Light Rammer, or if they play a big scary 4-drop, we can just Orbital Plunge. It all depends on what's going on. The stationing math is going to be a little interesting to figure out here. It might be easy because they might just play something that invalidates my Honored Knight Captain and the token, but doesn't warrant me like slinging an Orbital Plunge at it, in which case we would just go Wedge Light Rammer 2 3 4, and then on the following turn 2 3 4 8, and then or 3 4 5 I guess on the following turn, just trying to think ahead a couple of turns. But I mean, no guarantee we're gonna draw a land. What is it, 5? Okay, Starbreach Whale, Surveilling 2, currently no added bonus besides just a 2-mana Surveil, quote-unquote draw Starbreach Whale, which, you know, is fine. Okay, they're passing the turn. Okay, we did draw land 5, which is nice. So we're gonna go, let's think. So on like this turn we go Wedge Light Rammer, we could station up to 4. It's like, how much can I attack with and then still station this up next turn? We have 3, so we have 5 guaranteed. So we need to do it 4. Well, we actually have to tap everything, right? We go 4 and then 4. Oh, no, that's not correct. Hold on a second. So if I tap this for 2, then 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Oh, okay. So I can smack them for 2 this turn. Then we go Wedge Light Rammer. And then do this. Now, next turn, assuming they don't kill any of my creatures, we get to go station this up to 8. Or, sorry, 2, 3, 4. Up to 6. This up to, you know what I'm trying to do here. Also, they played a Starbreach Whale, so we might be doing something different with our turn. They kept both on top, which is a little worrisome. I might as well just be mana efficient here, and then we're setting up for a very nice next turn. So yeah, we do have to do all of this, which is fine. This is what we expected. No attacks. So next turn we can start Sunstar Expansion is potentially into Orbital Plunge. Orbital Plunge and Plasma Bolt something. A lot of options. They play Cryogene Relic into a Adagia, which is not bad. Okay, so now what? We have good options here. So I think here we're just gonna attack with both, and then we can go Sunstar, Frontline War Rager, Prophet. Yeah, let's do that. Let's attack with both of these. Okay, yep, I'm gonna block there. So now the question is, do I want to go Plasma Bolt, Orbital Plunge? Or do I want to just... We could go like Plasma Bolt, Frontline War Rager. I think that's actually not too bad. So yeah, let's Plasma Bolt here. And then I think Frontline War Rager. And then next turn, it'll get a counter. And then next turn, we are looking at a very nice attack of 3, 6, 9, 10, 11, 12. So not quite death, but very close. I know that was not the most mana efficient, but they may play their turn as if they're going to keep their Fungal Colossus and that they have a decent ground blocker. They have also just played an Endless Sands, which can exile creatures they control, and then later they can crack it and get the creatures back. Something I've seen from opponents with this is if you do it on your spacecraft that have become creatures, if you try to return them to the battlefield, they do not enter because they are not creatures outside of the battlefield. They are just artifacts. So my opponent was extremely sad at that. So do not fall for this trap. Do not fall for this trap. You cannot rebuy your sweet spacecraft enters triggers. That is all. Okay, orbital plunge that is completely fine. Not a big deal in the slightest. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 1, 2, 3 mana from the opponent. We have 6, 7, 8, 10 damage coming back at them. Okay, opponents in the tank. How are they going to get out of this? Okay, Zookeeper Mechan. Well, I like just going orbital plunge here. Let's see if you have some sort of response. It seems like it's just going to be cracking the lander. It also could just be, oh, if it's just saying, oh my goodness, that's so good. All right, and smack them for 1 billion. They go to 5 and turn, get the counter. We have so many almost lethal threats. Oh yeah. It's looking pretty good. Looking pretty strong here. All right, so Interceptor Mechan, sure, get back a thingy. They get back the Starbreach Whale, but oh wow, they're like a lot of colors. This command bridge is being their blue and their red. Yeah, they're just gonna go ahead and concede up that game. Okay, I think it was probably just a mistake for them to Endless Sands. They're probably just supposed to crack land or get a blue source so they can attempt to get back into the game. But you know what? As I always say, I am not their mom. Anyway, we're gonna run it back because the deck is pretty sweet. And I don't think any changes need to be made realistically. All right, here for game 2. Hand looks nice, so we're gonna keep. A little expensive, but you know, Needle Spires on 1, turn 2, hopefully we draw a 2-drop, or maybe they play a decent 2-drop on their turn 2. They gave me the play. Why did they give me the play? Okay, this is really weird. I've been playing a good amount of best of 3 recently. I have had several opponents lose game 1 and then give me the play. Very strange. I don't understand. We also have a pretty good curve out. We go Caveron into Sammy, give the Sammy haste, and then we'll have 2 tap creatures. Love it. Assuming, of course, they don't play anything crazy. Opponent also has a cool dual land, Breeding Pool. So, opponent just seems to be playing like way too many colors, though. It seems a little all over the place. Oh, Command Bridge. Oh, this game is basically over. All right, so yeah, we're just gonna do what we said. Sammy, and then we make it a 3/5, smack them, go to end step, make 2/2. Pretty good turn. Oh yeah. Okay, on our next turn, we get to go auxiliary boosters, give it haste, and just smack them to death. Yeah, I'm probably still doing that. Oh, they play a Sammy. Oh, excuse me. Excuse me. All right. Yeah, we're just going to do it. Auxiliary boosters, and then I don't really have great attacks with anything else, so I'm just going to do this here, and then a smack them for 4 in the air. We still have 2 tapped creatures. Sammy's going to give us another robot friend, and Sammy blocks the Mecha and Shield Mate super well. Sammy is just a 2/4 and I'm at 20, so opponent needs to do something pretty drastic here if they want to go. What the heck? Whoa, infinite guideline station. So they made 2/2. Wow. Okay, opponent's cooking more than we are. Oh my goodness, is it good enough? I don't know, but it's cool. It's definitely cool. So anyway, I'm going to go ahead and Galvanizing Saw Ship, and then we are going to tap. It's a little awkward. Tap Sammy, I guess, and then we're going to tap the. Yeah, I guess no. Let's tap here. And we attack with everything. This is 9, 10, 14. They're kind of forced to, yeah, we're just going to do as much damage as possible. And then 2, 4, 6, 8, 9, 10, 11. They're not going to kill me, right? It's just not happening. So, yeah, they're going to do some trading. They're going to go to 4. Now, Plasma Bolt is looking close to lethal. They need to answer the boosters, the Saw Ship. If they do that, maybe we have a game. But with only 6 mana and the fact that they're just stationing this up, what does it cost? 12? 12? Oh no, opponent. Oh no. Alright, I'm just going to smack them with everything until morale improves. Do that. Animate Needle Spires. Yeah. Good luck. I mean, yes, there is stuff. There are things. Okay, Grav Kill. Sure. Didn't gain them life, though. I thought they were going to play the white one that gains them life. Okay. Well, they're still dead. Okay, they're, like, very dead. Alright, so that was odd. Very odd of my opponent to give me the play. I mean, they were doing some cooking with this infinite guideline station. Unfortunately, it was more like an infinite game loss. See you for the finals. Alright, we're playing against Azrael, and our hand kind of sucks, so we will be mulling this. If it had a plains instead of a mountain, it's totally fine. But yeah, opponent also mulliganed. First time we're seeing Pain for All. Opponent's taking 2 mulligans. Unfortunately, I think we also have to take 2 mulligans. Oh my god. Wow. This is... You know, these are the tough battles that we are given sometimes, and we must fight. However, opponent mulled to 5. We're on the draw. Okay, we have to keep this. Put this back. Put this back. Put a land. Put auxiliary boosters back or a land. Probably auxiliary boosters. Better to just be able to play the cards we do have. Okay, we drew a mountain, which is... It's another land, but at least it's on color. Okay, quickly pass through turn. Looks like we're both running on pretty low resources to nuke. That is pretty good. Okay, we'll play the Caveron Turbo Drone now. Now on the following turn, we get to go Dual Sun Adepts and give it haste. And +1/+1, pretty solid. Will opponent play a big stupid 4-drop? Opponent has played a big stupid 4-drop. Ooh, Orbital Plunge. I think I do like killing that right away. And then no attacks. Can this target itself? Oh, it can. It's kind of weird. I mean, nice. I mean, I'm sure it'll come up sometimes. Sometimes you need to just tap it to activate an ability, and you, for some reason, don't want to target another creature. I don't know, something like that. Nova Hellkite. Oh boy. Okay. So, wow, this actually enables pretty decent attacks from the opponent. Ooh, Meld Strider's Resolve. Yikes. Oh boy. Okay. We're gonna get smacked for a bunch. Yeah, probably just game lost territory here. Pass a turn. Okay, Dual Sun Adepts. I mean, if they play a land, yeah, there comes the Nova Hellkite. That is gonna attack me. Okay, they're gonna swing at me for 6. We're gonna go to 6. We're gonna go grab ourselves another mountain. And then I have a Banishing Light or Bust, basically. Ooh, Wallfate Stalker too. That's pretty nice. I mean, we're not out of the woods yet, obviously, but you know, we're out here. We are doing things. We are not completely dead as of yet. In theory, we have like a 2-turn clock. Oh my goodness, that is an Orbital Plunge. Okay, that's fine. That's fine. We move on. Sometimes you mold a 4, and that's okay. No problems there. Not really anything I want to change. So we know our deck's good. We know our deck's good. We'll be fine. There are no problems here. Absolutely no problems. All right, on the play for game 2. Ooh, nice hand. Keep. No 3-drop, but, you know, we have a couple turns to get a 3-drop. Now, the Lightstall Inquisitor could make things a little bit awkward for the sequencing of the opponent. Of course, they're also probably just going to choose a land. Oh, what? They didn't play their tapped mountain? What? Attack them for 2. Very weird that they didn't just play tapped mountain. Okay, I'm not gonna lie, that was weird. Okay, smack them for 5. Not bad, good clock, good clock. It's just a little awkward with the Sammy because the Sammy is not gonna give us that nice value. Oh, the Nova Hellkite coming down, smacking my Lightstall Inquisitor, smacking me in the face. Pretty good turn. Still in a good spot. Still in a good spot. Ooh, auxiliary boosters. Let's get down the Covland Seeker. We're just trying to increase our damage output, I think. So we smack them for 3. They go to 10. Probably just going to forsake this thing. Oh, they're going to go Orbital Plunge. All right, that's fine. Okay, so we're going to do this, do that, play this, smack them. They go to 7. All right, we're pretty far ahead. We're pretty far ahead. If they go land Hellkite Pass, I'm chill with it. Cov Landseeker, totally fine, not a big deal. Okay, we're just gonna go land. They're basically like forced to block. Yeah, which I'm not completely fine with. All right, we'll go Sammy, and then, yeah. They are dead. Great. Okay, they just didn't hit their 5th land. So, okay, so we basically had like 2 non-games, which is not always the most fun. In fact, it's quite boring, but hopefully game 3 is like a real game of Magic. Not too much I want to do here. I really want Pain for All to do something. Like, do something, you know? All right, let's go back. Okay, so this hand has Needle Spires, Banishing Light, Galvanizing Saw Ship, and a bunch of lands. So it has all our colors. I think it's maybe just a little bit too land heavy. There are definitely just some draws that just like kind of invalidate everything we're doing. Banishing Light is a nice catch-up mechanic, but if we have to use it on like a stupid 2-drop, that's where things get bad. I think we can. Nope. Oh god, I'm forced to keep this. This is very, very bad. No, we have a turn 4 play. Okay, at least we drew a 3-drop. At least we drew a 3-drop. Can we draw a 2-drop? Draw a 2-drop. Ooh, Zookeeper Mechan from the opponent. Uh-oh. Uh-oh, gamers. We are looking pretty cooked. That is a Cov Landseeker on turn 3. Very, very strong. Okay, we'll just go... Turbo Drone. Yeah, probably. Just trying to attack them faster than they attack me. However, they're going to play Nova Hellkite right here, and then it's basically over. They smack me for 8. Oh, that's a Mild Strategist result. It's almost worse. It takes away my board presence, adds to theirs. Pretty much exactly what you do not want to see in this situation. We're going to take, what, 5? Yeah, okay. So here comes the Cov Landseeker. Well, not over yet. We definitely have good draws, but, I mean, opponent is 1 Nova Hellkite away from just completely invalidating. Ugh. Oh, also, this Cov Landseeker is effectively unblockable because it has Menace, but then it also cannot be blocked by more than 1 creature, so therefore you cannot block this. So this is basically 4 unblockable damage every turn cycle. We're just going to go Auxiliary Boosters here. 4, 5, 6, 7. Oh my goodness. They can pump up the Cov Landseeker and smack me for 8. Territorial Bruntar. Oh boy. Oh boy. I mean, wow, that's very bad. I mean, I'm forced to, yeah, I must do it on the Landseeker, or they just pump Landseeker and then I lose. Yeah, we saw that orbital plunge a little too late. And now the Territorial Bruntar, I mean, lands are good, spells are good. It's just very, yeah, yeah. Just draw Ice Cave Crasher off the top. Oh, they have like a fight spell, bite spell. No, no, okay. Smack. I mean, I guess I'm not winning if I don't. I have Banishing Light in the deck. It has to be exactly Banishing Light. No, I think I have to do this because this has Trample, and they can also pump it on not this turn, but the following turn when they attack with it. Yeah, here comes Ice Cave Crasher. We are going to crack this, find ourselves a doesn't really matter planes. Okay. I mean, look, they're giving us everything we need. But now the problem is all they have to do is use Zookeeper Mechan, pump Ice Cave Crasher. I'm forced to block. If they have land, I'm dead. Because it's 5/9. Oh, Mouth of the Storm. Sure, that's also terrifying. I guess I take this. Alright. Yeah. Unfortunate. So, that was kind of a sucky last match, just all around. Because at first it was a non-game because I mulled a 4, then it was a non-game because my opponent got stuck on 4 lands, then it was a non-game because I mulled a 5, and then just drew averagely while my opponent drew slightly above averagely. But overall, I think the deck was complete. Let's do a quick overview. Deck was totally solid. We never saw Pain for All. So sad. I mean, I think this card is very strong, but we had good removal spells, decent creatures. Sammy gave a ton of value. The Manland coming in, smacking them in the face. Galvanizing Saw Ship, very powerful. I love the auxiliary boosters. These things were probably the star of the show. Just giving us 2 rectangles, 5 mana, 3/4, flying body, not that bad. And then also it gives extra evasion to our team later in the game when we're just trying to push for those last few points. So overall, solid record, honorary 2-1, can't complain. And thank you guys for watching.